Welcome back to another video on my channel. This week we are doing a continuation of the my husband picks out my writing prompts slash hides them around the house type series. I labeled this as an Easter egg hunt previously because, you know, it was like Easter time and it was very fitting. Easter's over, but we're still using the chocolate eggs. So if you want to call this an Easter egg hunt, that's fine. If you want to call this a like hide and seek type of thing, that's fine too. So we're just gonna do part 2 of that. If you haven't seen part 1, I have this video on my channel. You might have to scroll back a week or two, but it's on there. So if you want to get a gist of what this is about, you can watch that, or I can just quickly explain it to you. So my husband has hidden a piece of chocolate somewhere in our apartment, and connected to said chocolate is a writing prompt. And then once I read the writing prompt, I have 24 hours to write 500 words. Yeah, I have 24 hours to write 500 words regarding said prompt. And, you know, maybe I'll use whatever I wrote in a story later on. I don't know. This is just for funsies to try to get the creative juices flowing, because I told him that I felt kind of like burnt out when it comes to writing. So this is just a way for me to flex some muscles and get juices going. And he has so wonderfully agreed to help me with that process. So anyway. Now Douglas has told me the riddle to try to help me. He like gives me a clue every time. So he gave me a clue to help with this, but I don't remember what it is because it's very complicated. So Douglas, can you repeat yourself one more time?
Yes. With enough heat, the sands of time make it possible to see through the lies you tell yourself.
So with enough heat, the sands of time, what?
Make it possible
Make it possible
to see through the lies you tell yourself.
to see through the lies I tell myself.
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna go explore now.
Enjoy.
Okay, enjoy. So now we are going on an adventure through the apartment. So I think I know he said how. I think there's a couple things. So heat could be stove, but I don't think it's that literal. We have, hang on, I'm gonna flip this camera around, hang on. So if you look over here, we have an hourglass, and, oops, it's really dirty, don't look at that. We have an hourglass and a candle, so that could be heat. Again, very dirty. I'm so sorry, this is putting myself on blast. I don't know what the lies I tell myself would be, because I don't know. I mean, we have Douglas's knitting stuff here, but I don't think he would put the chocolate in his knitting stuff. Never. See, now he wants to be cute and follow me around and make commentary, but he doesn't want to be on camera. So, yeah, no. Okay, well, again, Douglas, you can only do so much off camera before I, like, turn on you. Okay, so let's go back to the original idea with heat, but I don't think there's anything to do with sand. I was so close. Oh my god, wait. Hang on. Okay, so I found it. Let me just explain to you the backstory, because Douglas likes to take these opportunities to make fun of me whenever he can. So, okay, the riddle was, the sands of time, the heat and sands of time will reveal the lies you tell yourself, right? Okay. And he told me, just pay attention to the order, like, what does heat and sand make? And I was like, glass. So he was like, and I was like, oh my god. So basically, if you don't know, this is me, okay? I don't like throwing things away. I'm not a hoarder. I just don't like, I don't like wasting things. And one of the things I don't like throwing away is glass jars. I keep all our jam jars and pasta jars, or at least I keep at least half of them, because I don't like throwing glass away. I feel like that's really wasteful. So I have a collection of glass jars right here, and lo and behold, this man put the damn thing in one of my glass jars I've been saving, because I keep telling myself, like, oh, yeah, I'll find a use for that one day. I, like, look up, I try to, like, make my own jam, or, like, use this for, like, spells and stuff, because I make, like, happiness jars sometimes, and, So yeah, so these are the lies I tell myself, that I'm actually going to do something with my glass jars. If anyone has any advice on what to do with empty glass jars, let me know. But now this egg is a little wet because it was a little wet inside. But see, here's the egg, here's the writing prompt. So let's go back to my desk and we can get started on this whole thing now that I have been successfully humiliated on the internet. It's fine. Or like called out on the internet. It's fine. Okay, so now we're back in the office. I have the chocolate. I have not read the prompt yet, so I'm going to be reading out loud to you guys, and you guys are going to see my genuine reaction to this.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Let's see. Okay, we have deadly wedding dress. Maybe from a TV show, question mark. I feel that that's slightly leading to making me write something about Say Yes to the Dress, because you know that's like a show I used to be obsessed with. Yes. So that's the prompt. I'm going to turn it towards you guys. Is this backwards for you? I always feel like it looks like it's backwards on my end, but then when I went to edit, it wasn't. So we'll take a 50-50 risk this time. But yeah, so I officially have 24 hours to come up with something like 500 words. Let me just write out the prompt. If you guys watched the last video, you know I tend to do bullet points in the beginning before I start writing to better organize like my thoughts and to like I don't know, just better orient myself so I'm not just shooting in the dark. So the prompt is deadly wedding dress. And I will put his parentheses in there. Maybe from a TV show. Now let's come up with some ideas. If you hear typing and clacking in the background, that's just either me or Douglas, because Douglas is also working in this space. I don't have my mic plugged in because there's so much crap on my desk. I don't know how I would orient myself with the mic right now. So here we are. But yeah, so I mean, we could always go very literal with it and do a dress that eats people. Or we could do a dress that's haunted / cursed / bad luck, which could be fun. When I was getting married, there's this joke between like my mom and I a little bit because some brides choose to wear the wedding dress of their mothers or grandmothers or whatever. But my parents are divorced, so that would have been like bad luck if I would have worn their dress. So maybe that can be played into it too, like history of divorce in families. I don't know. We could do Dougie's suggestion of basing the story after TLC's Say Yes to the Dress. Maybe it's one that keeps getting returned. Or it's also bad luck. Although I feel like going on a reality TV show in general can bring about misfortune if you're not careful with like how the TV people edit you or like make you look like, you know what I mean? Hence why you should. I know a lot of people go on like reality shows to boost their like social profile numbers or like their Instagram followers and shit like that. But they can make you look all crazy. So I don't know if it's really worth it, but that's just me. Okay. Maybe one that keeps getting returned. It's also bad luck. Wedding dress. Eating people / stylists go missing in the bridal salon. I feel like it would be the funniest to do the TLC Say Yes to the Dress show, and just because I know like the characters from that characters from that show, like Randy and like some of the other salon stylists. And I know for a fact people have written like certain fanfics about that show because I've seen them on internet or on TikTok or whatever. So that could be kind of funny. Um, what other? There's other like wedding dress try on TV shows that I know. I just don't think they're as popular. But they all sort of have the same presence where it's like you watch people try on wedding dresses. There's also My Fair Wedding. I like that show. Fair Wedding with David Cetera. Fun fact, I actually, for my wedding, I wore one of David Cetera's dresses. It just, I mean, I bought it at a salon in my hometown, but he was like popular at that time, or at least popular before I got married, I think. But I thought it was just so funny that I used to be obsessed with that show, My Fair Wedding with David Cetera, and then I ended up getting like a David Cetera dress. I didn't know it was a David Cetera dress until I already like tried it on and liked it. So it's just funny how stuff works out like that. Um, but that's like another thing we can draw inspiration from because he would go like meet with a bride that's about to get married in like 2 weeks, and he would completely redo their wedding based on whatever theme they liked, and he would like give back. Well, it was more like a charity type thing where he would like give back and like give people who couldn't afford the wedding of their dreams the wedding of their dreams. So it was like more touchy feely. Whereas Says to the Dress is just about like people spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on wedding dresses, which is like crazy. But yeah, we could do something like that. It would be, I don't know. I feel like if I used their names though, like I could get sued by TLC. But if so, that might not be like as I wouldn't be able to publish that, you know. But if it's just between us girlfriends or squirrel friends, then it should be fine. So we'll see. I'm going to think about this a little bit more, and then I'm going to come back to you guys once I have more of a concrete idea down. But I just feel a little rushed on camera, so I'm just going to continue on with this, and then I'm going to start writing. Okay? Thanks. I'll be right back. Hi there. Okay, I'm back. Hello. I am back from lunch, and I had a salad, a lemonade, and a handful of Cheetos, or like knockoff Cheetos from Trader Joe's. So, I know last time I like sat down and I was like clickety clacking on the keyboard with y'all and like kind of like having you write with me. I didn't do that this time because I already got my words in. But let me just go over and like refresh what we have on the page, and then I will read to you what I came up with on the computer. Okay, so in terms of a prompt, as I probably just said a minute ago, but I'm going to refresh myself and everybody around. The prompt is deadly wedding dress, maybe from a TV show. And then I made a bullet point list of like some ideas, and I'm going to tell you which ones I picked. So based on that, we could do a dress that eats people, a dress that's haunted / cursed / bad luck, history of divorced families, in quotations. Hang on, let me fix that. That one didn't end with a little quotation, but now it will. There. Basing the story off the TLC Say Yes to the Dress, maybe one that keeps getting returned. It's also bad luck. Wedding dress, eating people / stylists go missing in a bridal salon. I got My Fair Wedding with David Cetera for inspo, and then I wrote down the names of Panina Tournay and Lazaro because those were designers that were always mentioned on Say Yes to the Dress, especially Panina. Like, she would actually be in the building, and I think she was an exclusive designer for them for a while, so I put her name down. Wedding dress made from the hair / materials of fallen brides. Sorry, that was crazy. I don't know what kind of vehicle was outside. Anyway, I said dress that's made from hair / materials of fallen brides. Dress becomes cursed with all the negative energy of the bridal parties who talk shit on the floor room before. Bride slowly gets suffocated in front of the mirror. Dress squeezes tighter and tighter as the appointment gets worse and worse. I kind of went with the last two ideas, even though all the ideas could be fun. I went with the last two to try to do a more like, is this a supernatural thing or is this a psychological thing type scenario. So I came up with 505 words. Not all the paragraphs are completely connected yet, so there's definitely more room to keep writing. Sometimes I'll like write a part and then move on to a part and move on to a part and then write the in betweens later, just because that's a little bit how my brain works. But I'm gonna read it all through with you, and maybe you'll notice the parts that kind of have like a gap or feel like there's a gap in between them. But this is 505 words. Again, I might save this for like a short story in the future. Um, who knows? But yeah, let me just read you guys what I came up with. Okay. Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous! The petite man gasped at me while lacing up my ivory corset. I can't wait to see what your family thinks of this one. I can feel a bead of sweat escape my overly styled hair. Yeah, me neither. With one final tug, I'm locked into this dress. I can feel the structured ribbing becoming indented into my skin, nearly fusing with my ribcage. My sister begged me to try this panina tournée, an over-the-top ball gown with a transparent midsection and very gracious padded cups, even though I've always been more of a fit and flare kind of girl. This wedding dress rearranges my excess flesh, causing it to overpour in the bust, one that I've never had up until this moment. I turn and face them out on the runway, preparing for the worst. My sister's eyes bulge out of her skull as she realizes the consequences of her actions. Oh my god. You look so... Her mind searches for the truth. Nice. But comes up with a lie. I visibly wince. A harsh pang stabs at my side. The bridal consultant observes my behavior and is quick to intervene. She's an absolute vision, isn't she, Mom? However, this is the last person he should have looked to for support. Out of everyone in my bridal party, my own mother struggles to keep eye contact with me. Her dried, polished hands rest on her brow, covering her eyes from the glare that is my beaming white dress. Well, no one will miss her, that's for sure. My mother's words dig into me, piercing my heart like a knife. I'm too preoccupied with this pain to notice the audible huff from my only ally in this room. The bridal consultant rests his hands on his hips, further accentuating his small frame. I stare at him in his purple suit and plaid tie with pure envy. He seems so comfortable in his own skin. Well, I sure hope so. It's her wedding day, after all. All eyes need to be on her. It's becoming even more difficult to breathe. The dress seems to get tighter and tighter with every word. The fabric shrinks with every passing minute as the judgmental thoughts build in each and every one of their heads. Every strand of thread condenses onto itself, cinching me in until I'm about to burst. How do you feel about this dress, sweetie? For the first time, my bridal party addresses me directly, although I cannot pinpoint who exactly asked me this question. All of their voices melt together into an amalgamation of sound. I try to speak, but the words don't come out. I... Spots appear in my line of sight. All of their faces blur until I can no longer recognize any of the people who had previously meant so much to me. Instead, darkness takes over, weaving its way in between all of their painted smiles. Okay, that's 500 words. Again, I guess this doesn't really have an ending, and it's just like the start of something, but the whole idea was that she is dying because of maybe the dress was too tight, or it's like, one's self-esteem dying because of family. Yes. So if you like that, let me know in the comments down below. If you want to write something based on this prompt, feel free, put it in the comments. I'd love to read it. I really want to create like a creative space for a lot of people who want to write. And so if you kind of want to play along with this game, feel free. I have an Instagram called Writing with Cass, and sometimes I'll put short bits of writing on there. If you do that with your Instagram, you really should. Or if you want to follow me and we could go back and forth on that, feel free to do that too. I like this prompt. I feel like it's a lot different from the last one I wrote, but still, it could be pretty good. So I'm excited what Douglas has for me in the future. I know he's got a couple of other prompts. I really like this series. This was actually a series that one of my followers recommended to me on Instagram, where it was their idea that I should do this. And it's been a lot of fun. So I encourage you, if you want to do it too, do it. Have fun. The best part about writing is the writing itself, and that's also the scariest part. So once you get over that, you're good. I know a lot of people have anxieties about writing, but I feel like little things like this can help encourage people to write little bits at a time, even if they don't feel the need to like sit down and like start writing on like a big novel. You know what I mean? But yeah, so anyway, with all that being said, feel free to like, comment, and share this video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff like this. And until next time, thanks, bye!